bank deposits, and your Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, and RRB. I'm getting a lot of questions about this down below in the comment section, and I want to clarify it for you here in this short video. Now, super fast, really quick question for you. If you want to leave your comment down below, I'd really appreciate hearing from you. Do you think that some of these changes that have been announced by Social Security this year are fair or mostly unfair? I'd love to hear from you down below. Yeah, some pretty interesting changes, which you've probably heard me talk about many times before in other videos. A lot of big changes out of Social Security so far this year. Anyway, I look forward to reading your comments down below. Okay, let's quickly talk about this because I've been getting a number of questions about this, and based on the current situation that we're living through right now, like economic turmoil and a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people are really wondering, what does all this mean for my monthly benefit, right? A lot of people out there, and again, a huge percentage of Social Security beneficiaries rely on their monthly benefit for all of their monthly income, and obviously some people rely on it for the bulk of their income and maybe have a small other source of income aside from it. But there's a lot of seniors, a lot of people with disabilities out there, and I know for a fact a lot of you here in this community that rely on your monthly benefit as your only income source. So any potential disruption to our benefit or any potential change to that can be a very scary situation for a lot of people, which, by the way, I say this all the time in my videos. I am not here to scare anybody, but rather I'm here to be here for you in any way that I possibly can to clarify the situation and let you know what's going on. Anyway, just want to throw that out there really quickly. All right, let's answer this question again. I see this popping up a weird amount of times. Believe it or not, I see this popping up like more than you'd probably ever guess. And again, down below in the comment section, in the chat box on live streams, I just see this popping up. And the question is worded something along the lines of, do we need to worry about our bank accounts, right? So in the event of an economic contraction, economic recession, all this turmoil that's going on right now, everything like that, what's going on with our bank accounts? And in the event of, a collapse of a bank, a bankruptcy of a bank, right? Just imagine that, a bankruptcy of a bank. How interesting would that be? Yeah. Anyway, it happens all the time. Anyway, a situation like this, which, by the way, there's also another little piece of this, which was announced by Social Security as well, which I'll allude to here in just a minute, so stand by for that. But anyway, when it comes down to it, this is exactly what FDIC insurance is for. So in the event of a bank collapse, again, I've had a lot of people reaching out wondering, like, hey, I'm super worried about this. If my bank goes under, am I going to lose my benefit? The answer is no, probably not really. That's why banks have FDIC insurance, right? So they have this insurance in the event of a bankruptcy or the bank goes under, whatever the situation is. That's where the FDIC insurance comes in and basically pays out the depositors up to $250,000 of deposits within that institution. Now, that's just kind of the benchmark for that. But remember a few years ago when we had some of these huge bank failures like Silicon Valley Bank, people had millions and millions and millions of dollars deposited and they got bailed out. So my point is, even though the threshold is $250,000, otherwise known as $250,000, $250,000, yeah, they'll probably bail banks out and bail out the depositors as well. Just like we saw a few years ago when it came down to Silicon Valley Bank as well. So that's just a quick example about that, okay? So either way, I would say, don't worry about it for the most part. I mean, do what you got to do for your own situation. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do, but for the most part, I wouldn't really worry about it. That's why the insurance is in place. And, who knows what's going to happen going forward. But generally, when we go through an economic contraction or, a major economic recession, a lot of times we see financial institutions, in other words, banks, going under. So that's pretty common thing with recessions, right? So anyway, that's just one aspect of this. Now, another thing that I've also seen questions about, and again, I've answered this before in other videos, but just as long as we're talking about deposits and things like that, let me throw this out there super fast. If you are worried about your bank, your financial institution, and you want to change your deposit account, something like that, as in you want to get it sent somewhere else, you want the deposits to go to maybe a bigger, more trustworthy bank, I don't know, whatever your situation is. And again, it's all your personal preference. I'm not going to tell you what to do, not my style. Just do whatever's best for you. But I'm here to inform and to help you out in any way that I possibly can. But here's the other situation. If you do want to change your direct deposit information, as in have your checks deposited into a different bank account, that's fine. You can do that. Not a problem whatsoever. But the situation is in the middle of April, remember this, in the middle of April, they changed the rules on direct deposits. In other words, you can change your direct deposit information, but no more calling Social Security to do that. There's only 3 ways in which you can change your direct deposit information now to have your monthly benefit checks from Social Security deposited into a different bank account. Option 1 would be to visit a local field office. Option number 2 would be go through your My Social Security account and change it that way. As it's a secure portal, you can do it there. Or option number 3 would be to change it through your bank. Okay, those are the 3 options that they've identified. Anyway, that's what it comes down to. And again, I've talked about that before in the videos in great detail. I'm not going to get into a ton of detail here. If you want me to, let me know down below in the comment section. But this is what it comes down to as far as, do you really need to be worried about your benefit? I'm just going to say this. There's plenty of other things that we can be very worried about right now. There's tons of things, right? I would say this. Do not lose sleep over your monthly benefit. Don't lose sleep over your bank going under. Don't lose sleep over your benefits not arriving or being delayed or ended or canceled or whatever all these other people out there are saying is going to happen to the program. I would say none of that is going to happen. I would say, if anything, the biggest risk going forward would potentially be a recession taking out a bunch of banks, because that happens every time. Every time we see an economic contraction or recession, we generally see a bunch of banks get whacked. I'd say that'd probably be the biggest risk. But at the end of the day, I would say don't worry about it. There are so many banks, like tens of thousands of banks across the country. The total number of failures in the event of recession, it's going to be relatively small. But either way, nonetheless, it probably will impact some of us. But again, that's why they have FDIC insurance or NCUA in the event of a credit union. That's what it's for, okay? Either way, my point is there's a ton of things we could be fearing right now. Please don't lose sleep over this, okay? Let's just keep watching this day by day. I'm watching all of it every single day very, very closely, and I'll continue to give you posts as we get more information. So I can answer your question. Otherwise, if you have not answered that question that I had at the beginning of the video, I'd love to hear from you down below if you want to. If not, that's totally fine too. But again, the question being, do you feel like the changes we've seen out of Social Security so far this year in 2025 are fair or unfair? You can just write fair or unfair in the comment section. You don't have to write a big description. If you want to, you can. I'd love to read it. But if you don't want to, that's fine. I just like to hear fair or unfair in the comment section, because I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, some are fair. Some of these changes that are coming out of Social Security, I would say, are definitely unfair to a lot of people. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Please don't let my opinion or my answers here persuade you. We're all entitled to our own opinion, and I'd love to hear yours, okay? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you need any help with your Medicare, you know the drill right here. Phone number. See this phone number right here? This is by far your best resource. The trusted team of dedicated advisors helping those of you here in this community navigate Medicare, whether it's the initial enrollment into Medicare, whether it's Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, Part D plans, Medicare Advantage, whatever it happens to be. This team right here with this phone number, seriously, write that phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot, write that down. That'll be by far your best resource going forward through this transition. I am very, very confident of that. And I can authentically say that if you call them and you need help with Medicare, they will certainly help you. And here's the cool part about it. You can ask them all the questions you want. You got 50 questions? Go at it. Ask them. It's a free resource. Ask them all you want. It's totally okay. All right, so anyway, they have access to over 20,000 plans across the country. They're working diligently every single day to help seniors navigate Medicare and find the best plan at the best price with the best coverages, and hopefully save you a boatload of money like they've already done with a lot of you right here in this community that have already connected with them, which, by the way, we're rapidly approaching 2,000 people here in this community that have already contacted them and received amazing help. And the average senior, by the way, is saving $1,100. That is the average savings. Not guaranteed, but that's just the average. Anyway, that's incredible. So please write the phone number down. Here you go, right here. I'm literally handing it to you on a silver platter, right here. Here you go. The best resource that'll save you a huge headache, a ton of time, a lot of frustration, and hopefully also save you a ton of money and get you much better coverages with everything that they're offering. And again, it's totally free to work with them. That is the best part. Checks all the boxes, in my opinion, right? Somebody working for you for free, helping you out, save a bunch of money. I like it. That's awesome. Anyway, If you're new here, if you've not done so yet, please subscribe. 100% free to do so. Big subscribe button down below the video. Check out the other thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos down below in the description that I've hand selected for you. Otherwise, popping up on your screen in just a minute, you'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, until next time, please have a nice day, and I hope I can catch you again later in the next video.